But is it necessary to help more women into leadership roles, Lisa?
Well, I think Kelly Hoppen's brilliant, actually, and sort of self-taught interior design guru, you know, MBE. She's sort of an inspiration in her own right, really. And I do agree with the fact that we shouldn't just give women positions just because they're women. I think that's a little patronising. I think women do, however, still need help, you know, in terms of maybe education and giving us choices in that respect. But I wonder does it mean that you're more powerful if you're in the boardroom or you have that kind of business acumen and that sort of... I think sometimes we forget that you can be really powerful in your own home.
Yep.
Every day, doing your day-to-day thing, because you're influencing the next generation of kids. And so I think, you know, we must be mindful of the fact that not everyone wants to be in the boardroom. Some people have just as much influence in their own home and are powerful in their own right.
Do you agree with that, the whole power behind the throne thing?
Well, I think that positive discrimination worries me, because what we want is equal opportunities. We don't want to be pitied and patronised.
Exactly, yeah.
But, you know, there is a huge gap with equal opportunities. I mean, you would certainly agree with this, wouldn't you, Sherry, that I mean, pay is still not equal between men and women,
absolutely.
and right across the board, or right across any business. There's a bit of a hooray there.
Do you not think a good cross-section of people, culture and everything is what's needed, not just getting a few women, getting a few men, getting a few of this, a few of that?
Yeah, of course it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is a man's world. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. And I think that's still got to be fought. We have to still empower women. We have to give them, from very young, the reasons they know they can get out there and they can fight for their own existence and fight for their own jobs and fight for money. When I was a young actress, I do remember a producer saying to me, when I found out that all the men in the cast were on more money than me, he said, "That's the way of the world, Sherry, men always do." And I thought, and I was too young to fight it. I would fight it now and sort him out.
I think that can sometimes be a problem. I mean, you want people to get their jobs on their own merits. And I think sometimes, I mean, a lot of young people are doing brilliant, but I find, my husband and I own a company, and often there doesn't seem to be the same fight sometimes. You've got to fight really hard with it. Some of the young women that we work with.
In women or in young people?
Well, some young people.
Is it a sex thing or a generational thing?
I think it is generational as well. I mean, I think the point is I don't want anybody getting a job just because for quota reasons.
Yeah.
I think that we have to prove
regardless of
ourselves,
anything.
Regardless of anything. And I think that that's really important. But I think that we have to keep on working on people getting, you know, the same pay and the same opportunities to move up.
Isn't that down to education, surely?
Well,
education from very young, to teach the young girls that become teenagers, that become the 20-year-olds, that in fact they have to be given a work ethic again, and to know that work is where you're striving for.
No, but also, Sherry, work isn't everything. It's about giving people choices, because I do think there's a danger nowadays of telling people that they're worthless unless they have a really powerful career.
I don't think that's
Well, no,
true.
I do think staying at home is important too sometimes.
But actually, at the end of the day, it's about giving people choice.
Yeah.
And I think, Sherry, you're absolutely right. It is in terms of if you give people education, you give them the world, it's up to them what they do with it. And if they are happy to stay at home, and that is we all know it's the most important job in the world, or if they want to go out and be an entrepreneur or whatever, it's about choice.
Yeah, I think sometimes we can get a bit mixed up with it as well. I mean, I'm a feminist. I'm bringing up my daughter to be feminist, but at the same time, there are things about being a woman that I love to do. I love to cook. I love to cook for my family. I love to nurture my family. I sometimes like to overlook after my husband.
But that's
actually that's about
isn't it?
and I want my girls to love that side of being
I must
a woman.
be less of a woman because I don't cook. I'm not very good at cleaning.
No, I mean, but I think that's fine as well. But I think there shouldn't be any shame in also enjoying that part of being a woman. That's what
I enjoy
would
watching
say.
Paul do the cooking and the cleaning.
Like I said, I think it's about choice and teamwork at the end of the day. It is not an us and them situation, whether it is regard to gender, race, religion, it's about teamwork. It's about the best person for the job doing the job, and it's all working together.
I still think women have to fight more in the business world to get on, because we still are in a man's world.